Hello, welcome to Financial Management Accounting 5130, and my name is Daphne and I will be your online professor for this course. So before I get into talking a little bit about the course, just a brief introduction, a little bit about me. I am an accounting professor here at St. Mary's University. I teach second and third year undergrad accounting as well as integrative accounting in our MBA program. I have had considerable work experience, unfortunately none of it in the cooperative sector, but I have worked in the public and private sectors as a controller and finance director for over 20 years before deciding I wanted to become an academic. Retirement didn't appeal to me at all, so I thought this is a good time to have a second career. So I completed my PhD at University of Warwick, and then I just moved on to St. Mary's University, and it's a fabulous place to work. In addition to being a professor of accounting, I also am the executive director of our Center of Excellence in Accounting and Reporting for Cooperatives, abbreviated CARC since it has such a long name. And in addition to the work that I do here at St. Mary's, when I take a break, I enjoy traveling. I've been to quite a few countries around Europe and Asia and South America. Okay, so as you know, of course, this is a distance course. However, I'm still accessible. I will have online office hours every second Thursday, except for the Thursday during the break week. And that will give you a chance to come online, and it's going to be done through a Blackboard. You'll see a facility there called Collaborate, and instructions are provided on the website as to how to access that. But through Blackboard, you'll be able to come on and ask any questions you have. If you need clarification on an assignment or on the project, whatever, or the textbook, whatever the issue might be, you can come on and ask questions during that time. In addition, if you can't attend that session, it is recorded, so although your particular question might not be asked, you never know, somebody else may have the same issue that you do, so you can always listen to the recording. And finally, I'm always available by email. I commit to responding to your emails within 24 hours. So if, like I say, if the office hours don't work out for you, by all means send me an email and I will respond within 24 hours. So the textbook for this course is Financial Accounting, a Management Perspective through Ivy Software, and the author is Robert Holt. This textbook is electronic. It's only available in an electronic format. When you purchase this textbook, you'll see a file for textbook, and then you'll see a series of 5 other files with the chapter numbers, chapters 1 to 5. So when you open up those chapters, what you're going to see is a variety of items on the menu on the left-hand side. So you'll see the actual lecture PowerPoint. So when you view the PowerPoints, turn up your volume, because what you're going to hear is basically a voiceover, a lecture accompanying those PowerPoints, and the lecture is made actually by the author of the textbook. You'll recognize it's not a female Atlantic Canadian voice there. So this is a very good way for you to start the course. Make sure you start by reading the chapters and then listen to the lecture on the PowerPoints. Evaluation. So I know this is the part everybody is always interested in knowing. How are the marks distributed? We have 5 online quizzes, and they're worth 4% each. Now there are 6 modules in the course. Module 6 doesn't have an online component. So the way the course is set up, there's 6 modules, but there's only 5 chapters in the textbook. So module 1 will correspond to chapter 1 and so on. So when we get to module 6, there's no corresponding chapter in the textbook. We have group discussion boards, so you've all been formed into group members by now. You know who your group members are. So there will be a question for each module that each person in the group will need to post their response to. Then once the responses are posted, the other group members must respond to at least one other posting. So they're worth 4% each, and we have 6. Then what we have, the next item we have is called Living Labs. So what a Living Lab is an assignment that's going to be based on your own cooperative or credit union. There's 2 components to this. You will have to post your actual assignment in the assignments section on Blackboard, then also post it in the full class discussion board. So there's 2 discussion boards. There's one for the group question that I just discussed, then there's one for full class. So full class, everybody in the class can see your posting, and you are required here to respond as well to at least one other posting from the full class. So the idea behind the full class posting is to give you more of insight into what's happening in other cooperatives in other jurisdictions. Finally, there's going to be a group project, and that's worth 26%. So the group project, for that one, you will have to select one particular project, one particular entity or cooperative to base that on. And there's a lot more information on that in the file folder. Now this overhead says weekly schedule, but obviously, you know, this will take place over the whole course of the semester. So what I've done here, I've listed in order how you should approach the course. So start off by reading the chapter in the textbook. Then read the online interactive presentation with the author voiceover lecture that I referred to. Then you do your online graded quiz. Now that's in the textbook chapters. When you look at the individual chapters, you will see there some exercises, a practice quiz, and that sort of thing. But what you are required to do is the graded quiz, the one that's marked graded quiz, and they're worth 4% each. You have, then when you do that, you should read the supplementary lecture notes. So this book, this textbook, like many other textbooks, is based in predominantly in one country. This is an American textbook, so I'm supplementing it with some other examples from Canada, the UK, and also there's some topics that are not covered in the textbook, and I'm adding additional supplementary information. In addition, for most chapters, there are additional readings to cover these additional topics that I'm introducing, so you need to review the readings as well. Then complete the group discussion board posting, your living lab, and then make sure you have posted your responses to both the group discussion question and the full class posting of your assignments. So to get full marks for your living lab, you do have to respond to at least one other person's posting. So as I mentioned earlier, start each module by reading the textbook chapter, listen to the lecture. It's a lovely accent, a lovely American, I think it's sort of a southern type of accent. I think you'll enjoy it. We have as I say, there's the optional exercise and the practice quiz. While they're not mandatory, I think it is beneficial for your own learning process to do those. I won't see the results of them, so you know, you can do them as often as you want. I don't see that, but then make sure you take the one that's marked graded quiz, because that's the one you're actually getting graded on and getting marks for. So a little bit more to say now about the online quizzes. There's 5 of them, they're worth 4% each for a total of 20, and as I mentioned earlier, there's no online quiz for Module 6. So make sure you select the right quizzes. As I mentioned, there's a practice quiz, there's exercises in there. You want to select the quiz for grading. It's important that you take the right option. And of course, you'll need to refer to the syllabus, which has all of the due dates listed for all of the various quizzes and assignments. So the supplementary lecture notes, as I mentioned, the lecture notes expand on the material that's covered by the book, and in some modules introduces some new material. The textbook tends to focus primarily on pure financial, and of course cooperatives are about more than just the bottom line, so of course we want to make sure that we bring in more material to fully reflect the subject that we're trying to cover in this course. So review the lecture notes and review the readings before you start the living labs, because the living labs, a lot of those will be based on the additional material. The living labs, so you'll have 6 of those, and they're worth 5% each for a total of 30. And they're called living labs because they're based on your company, they're based on a real situation. And the idea here is you're going to be applying the concepts that we're covering in the module to your organization. And here it's really important that you remember to post your living lab in 2 locations. It has to be posted under assignment for marking, and it also has to be posted in the full class discussion board, not in the group, because for your living lab we want to give everybody in the class an opportunity to find out what's going on in other cooperatives and credit unions. And just a reminder, you must respond to at least 1 other student's posting. That's a minimum. I'd like you to respond to more than that, but that is the minimum. So the group discussion board, there's 6 of those, worth 5% each. Each module has a group discussion question, and you have to post your discussion, your response to the group question in the group discussion board. So that only your own group will see your posting, and only the group members need to respond to at least 1 other posting within the group. The group project, you don't have to worry about this for a while, but it's all out there on the system, so you can have a look at it and start thinking about it in advance, because perhaps as we're going through the modules you may want to make notes and gather ideas for your group project. So obviously one project can't cover everything that's going to be in the course, but we are trying to incorporate many of the concepts that are covered in the 6 modules. Now, although there's a group of you working on this, you're going to have to select 1 of your cooperatives or credit unions. So it can only be on 1 entity. So you're going to have to decide which one best suits this particular project. And there's a lot of details on this in a document in the project file folder, and that's due April 30th. So lots of time yet, but just so make sure you're aware of it. And with a distance course of what we've done here is all of the modules are made available now, because some people may have deadlines coming up or travel plans and so on. So feel free to work ahead. If you know you're going to need time off and not be able to attend to studies at a certain week or certain time period, then everything is out there, so you can get started as soon as you want and work ahead at your own pace. As long as you meet the deadlines, that's fine. If you meet them early, that's okay too. So just work at your own pace and make sure that you do meet the deadlines. Now, in terms of the deadlines, you'll see the times noted, such as like 11:30 p.m. For that is the time to post the various discussion boards and assignments in your online quiz. So when I say 11:30 p.m., I'm referring to Halifax time, also known as Atlantic Standard Time. Make sure you know the time zone. We don't want any snafus on that. So it's 11:30 p.m. Halifax time for when the assignments are to be submitted. Now, I know a lot of you taking this course aren't necessarily accountants, and we don't intend to make an accountant of you. The idea with this course is more to give you a general knowledge of financial statements and annual reports so that you can read them, review financial statements, be able to determine by reviewing the financial statements the general health of your cooperative or your credit union. So it's not to make you into number crunchers, although I'd love to do that since I'm an accountant, but so don't panic if number crunching isn't your thing. I think you can rest assured we're not going to make you into accountants, but give you that skill set so that you can look at statements, look at financial statements, your balance sheet, your income statement, and ask the right questions. That's the important thing that we want you to take away from this course. So you know when you're looking at the statements, is this cooperative in good financial health, or is there opportunity for improvement? So the important thing as well to being successful in this program, not just this course but in the program, is to keep in touch. If you're having difficulty, I realize life happens, there's work issues, family issues, health, whatever, these things come up, and we are happy to work with you to work around whatever issue you're encountering. So don't go silent on me. If you have a problem or something, you foresee something happening, whatever, as soon as you become aware that there's an issue, or if you're just finding the course just too demanding, you're having difficulty with the course materials, whatever the situation is, feel free to let me know, and I encourage you to get in touch with me as soon as you're experiencing a problem, because the longer you let it go, it's just going to snowball. Then it'll seem like a huge problem that you'll never be able to solve. So, the best thing to do is contact me right away, and I'll certainly work with you to do whatever I can to, sort things out and make sure you get through the course. So, the worst thing you can do is not bring up a problem if you have a problem, and I'm certainly here to help you. And that concludes my introduction, and I hope you enjoy the course, and feel free to join me on the optional online office hours every second Thursday. And again, make sure you read through the syllabus, because the syllabus has all of the details. I'm just covering the highlights here in this introduction. So thanks, and good luck with the course.